Hi, just been reading a book here, The Shack, that has certainly created a lot of controversy. It's been out a pretty short time and has made a considerable impact. I have read comments, everything from heresy to the modern day Pilgrim's Progress, which some viewing this may or may not be familiar with. The thoughts that I have, and since they're my thoughts, they can be neither right nor wrong, they're just my thoughts. I really don't want to get into the point of offering an opinion, because I don't have any idea what it's like to be inside the mind of William Paul Young and to claim that I understand everything that he was thinking, everything that he intended to say. All I can really comment about is how this book impacted me and the things it made me think about. And perhaps in doing so, that might give you some cause for thought, because obviously your thoughts are your thoughts, and they're neither right nor wrong, they're just your thoughts. Perhaps it would be a good idea to just say very quickly that I claim to have a knowledge of Christ in my life for 35 years. I have some Bible school background. I have been a student of the Bible, both in Spanish and in English. I'm a fairly well-rounded reader, and the only reason I say that is to be a little more clear about where I'm coming from and how my thoughts are formed. Certainly anyone watching this is going to think their own thoughts, and hopefully mine will not influence you. It will just give you cause for thought, which I do believe is different. Very plainly and very simply, this is an interesting book. To say that it is simple, it would not be correct. There are a lot of points of view, there are a lot of things presented here that certainly take any what might be called mainstream Christian and make them think twice, I would say, is a good way to phrase that. What has impacted me is perhaps one sentence. And for me, this was extremely important. It was on page 126, fourth paragraph, last sentence, when Sarayu was saying, "Because you don't know I love you, you can't trust me." And that was extremely significant for me, simply because I believe that's where I am, and certainly I could identify with Mac as the story goes. Keeping in mind that this is a book of fiction, that means that it's a book of fiction, that these are ideas, thoughts, situations that are not real. Certainly our imagination, my imagination, your imagination, can get into a theater that would make these things seem real. I didn't have any problem doing that. I perhaps have a vivid imagination, or maybe I don't. It was not difficult for me to see the pictures that Willie painted here very clearly. But for me, the thing that was most important was that one sentence. And there were other things that were said there that didn't necessarily alter my understanding of God, but it certainly didn't seem to come anywhere near heresy. In my in my mind, and as I was thinking about it. Comments that I did hear and read were making statements that didn't even take things into context, that misquoted sentences and things of that nature. That would be a shame to just out of hand say that this is not something worth reading. One commentary, one review made the comment that this was a dangerous book. And that from someone who claims to be a very significant review, I should say, if not long, and put forth their point of view, which here again, they're his thoughts, but yet he's putting those thoughts out there to persuade others to think the same way he does. And just as much as we are individuals, that means we all think a little differently. And unless we're willing to stand behind those thoughts, then we allow others to influence our thinking, and therefore they are no longer our thoughts, but a combination of ours and somebody else's. So as you read the book, or as you think about reading the book, I would just encourage you to not read any comments about it, but read it for yourself. If someone wants to tell you all these things, negative, positive, I would encourage you to say, wait, I don't want to hear any of it. Let me read it for myself. That way you have the opportunity to get a great deal more out of it. And I believe, from my point of view for myself, there is a lot there. Most importantly, it is something to make all of us think. And anything that will draw us closer to truth, no matter how skewed it may seem, is a good thing. It was a rock opera, Jesus Christ Superstar, that got me to the point of crossing that line. So how ridiculous is that? Something that couldn't be any more anti-Christ than that rock opera. So no matter where this book stands, it is what it is. So I would encourage you to read it. And read it recognizing that you need to do whatever it takes to understand in your mind and in your heart what's there that's good. William Paul Young would be the very first, I'm sure, to say, hey, don't take this as truth. This is a fictional story. But think about what is being said. That's pretty much what I did before I saw any of this other stuff. I read the book and I'm on my second reading. To me it was that good. So there's another point of view about the shack, and I would definitely encourage you to take a look.